What's up, Lorehorse? Welcome back to another episode of Lorem Pod. I'm Lex, and with me as always is Doom Korleone behind the computer, and Henry, Too Many Cooks, Castle. We also have a very special guest with us, that's right, Baby Yoda himself, Grogu. So Doom, why don't you start us off?
Sure. All right. So, a new Clayface trailer was shown at CinemaCon, and according to Eric Voss from New Rockstars, he claimed that the trailer is brutal. So, I want to ask you, Mr. Lex, since you're a DC guy, how excited are you to watch Clayface?
Alright, so as you guys know, and most of our listeners, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up a little too late to watch Batman the Animated Series as it was coming out, but I did get to rewatch old reruns and, be able to experience the legendary Kevin Conroy and all the other voice actors in that show. And I gotta tell you guys, the parallels that they are doing with Clayface, the movie, and Clayface in the Batman the Animated Series, especially the two-parter Feet of Clay, it is crazy. Some shots are almost like frame for frame what the animated series has done for this new movie. I'm excited not only because of the homage and parallels to the animated series, but also the fact that James Gunn is doing horror. Like, this will be DC's, as far as I know, first attempt of just straight horror in their movie lineups. What about you, Henry?
Well, James Gunn's been familiar with horror projects in the past. I mean, his big breakout was that movie Slither. So I feel like he's back in home base kind of a deal. So I do have faith that he's going to do a good job with this movie. I mean, I'm not that much familiar with the character Clayface in general. The only thing I remember seeing him in was the other Batman animated series, the one in the early 2000s with the type of Joker that's like kind of like an
the one with the dreadlocks and
yes,
the
yeah,
straight
I'm more familiar with that Clayface, so I know that's a different story and it's completely different, as well as the Clayface from the Dark Knight games, the Arkham games. That's the only thing I have in relevance to what I know of Clayface. So this is going to be entirely kind of new for me. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. I mean, apparently this is going to be following the correct character of Clayface because I believe he's an actor before he became what he became. This is going to be awesome to see.
No, I'm also glad that you brought up not only the Batman show from the 2000s, but also the fact that there's other Clayface iterations. Because it is true, even in comics, we do have Matt Hagen, who is the actor Clayface, who is from the animated series and who we're going to be seeing in this movie. But we also have Basil Karlo, and that's another version of Clayface, who in the Batman, we did have the two Clayfaces in one of the later episodes. So, yeah, there are different interpretations, or not interpretations, there are different Clayfaces in the DC canon running side by side with each other. But like you said, the fact that we're getting the Matt Hagen actor version, which is what blew up from the animated series, that's what we're excited for. That's what I'm definitely excited for, and I hope they pay more homage to the animated series debut, Feet of Clay. What about you, Doom? What do you think?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not the DC guy up here, so I'm not too familiar with Clayface, but I did watch that trailer, and that trailer had my jaw dropping.
So was Clayface's.
Literally, right? I just like the horror story element, especially coming from a villain, one as unique as Clayface. So I really want to see him in this movie, but again, I also want to see him with Batman, because he is a Batman villain. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm most excited for when it comes to Clayface. Other than that, when is the movie scheduled to come out? October?
Yeah, recent articles and updates from both Warner Brothers Pictures and DC Studios have it set for October. I know when the movie was first teased, we originally had September as the date, but I think, obviously due to scheduling conflicts and everything, October is what it's lined up for. Which, I mean, again, Halloween, horror movie, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I am totally down for that. But was there something in terms of Lego Batman that you wanted to discuss?
Oh. Well, I mean, only because not only is it premiering next week, I think we should definitely talk about how Lego Batman is finally complete. I think they announced the I forgot the phrase that they use, it gold record or gold disc, basically saying that the base game in and of itself is complete. We don't need to worry about how with other games and pre-ordering that there's still bugs, there's still issues, there's still incomplete storylines or things like that.
Of course.
So with it being, I'm going to say gold disc, I forgot the actual term, but with it being gold disc, a week before its release, it's more than making me happy. We have at least 15 hours plus just to complete the story, 50 hours plus of gameplay just to 100% it, and the fact that it's supposedly going to cover all 85 plus years of the Dark Knight legacy, along with so many cameos and so many homages and tributes to like the late Kevin Conroy and other voice actors and real life actors, Adam West, who have contributed to the legacy of the Dark Knight all these 80 plus years.
So this game to you would be like my love for the Lego Star Wars games, per se.
I mean, this game to me is mainly the fact that it's Batman. Don't get me wrong, I love the Lego games, the Lego Indiana Jones collection, a Skywalker Saga, and now, Legacy of the Batman. But the fact that it's just Batman, like, it could have been any other version, whether it's Lego, whether it's, the Arkham Knight style or anything, just all 80 years of Batman to pay tribute to the character and its pop culture presence. The fact that there was news coverage, that there was so many people from DC, both in comics and both in media and both in pictures and productions. And the fact that yours truly was not only there, but was interviewed and was on national TV too, to give his thoughts and opinions there. I mean, this game means everything to me.
Nice. I mean, I'm gonna confess, I have never played a Lego Batman game. I know you're probably gonna be angry with me, because for me, generally, my childhood, I grew up with mainly playing the Lego Star Wars games, so that's why I have a little bit of a bias there. But with this coming out, I think I might change my mind and start playing it. Based on how you're describing it, it seems really fun. Not gonna lie.
No, I mean, I'm going to confess right back with you. Lego Star Wars was actually my first Lego game. Then Lego Indiana Jones. And then Lego Batman. But because of the timing of how everything went, I kind of didn't even play Lego Batman 3. I did play some Lego Batman 2. But at that point, we had Arkham Asylum. So definitely the Arkham games would beat the Lego games at any point in time. However, this Lego game, it's basically Arkham series in Lego, so this might be a contender to beat the Arkham games. What do you think, Doom?
I'm right there with Henry. I have never played a Lego game, but the way you were describing...
Thank you, everyone. I'm leaving now.
How do you not play a Lego game at least once?
Because for me, when it comes to video games, I'm more of like a storyboard type person. So like I like games with like a lot of action and like a lot of as long as it has a good story. Like I guess one that's coming to mind to me right now is like Max Payne, like the first one. Like I love video games like that. Like it feels like a movie. Nothing wrong with Lego. I'm not talking down on it. I don't have any experience in it, but it sounds cool though.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's anyone's gonna pop your Lego cherry, hopefully it's Lego Batman. So
it looks cool. I'm reading on it right now. It looks cool.
Again, it's just the Arkhamverse in Lego form. They even have like special kills and like combos and everything. So, hey,
I would totally be down to play that. So it's cool. Okay, this is the one I really wanted to talk about. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Of course. So as we all know and love, it's finally going to be released. It has a release date confirmed. Hopefully they don't push it back, but it's set to release November 19th, 2026. So people are going to take work off for that day probably. I probably will just stay up late playing it all the damn night and not even sleep. One piece of news that did come up, and thank God, CEO of Take-Two Interactive, which is the lead producer that takes over Rockstar, the CEO Strauss Zelnick confirmed that in an interview by IGN that the game's price will remain in the $70 to $80 range, as many critics and game devs are speculating that the game, because of its size and its budget, would be sort of priced at around the $90 to $100 range based on the game's size and the amount work put into it. But luckily, we don't have to worry about that for any longer, because the CEO, he says, it's going to remain the same price as any other game. So thank God, We don't need other game devs to really use GTA 6 as a crutch to say, hey, we're gonna price games so based on how much budget and work we put into it. Just keep it the same. I mean, the economy is really bad anyway right now. You want to keep it at least, the normal price so that we can maintain and, globally buy the game so, a lot of people can have fun playing it and keep it in, under budget. So I am super excited. Obviously, I've long time played GTA 5 ever since it was released. I'm not gonna lie, I mainly did play the online more than I did the story. And yes, to this day, I still haven't even beat the story because of how much content is in there. So that's why I'm still super excited for 6. Because based on how much they're putting into it, I'm pretty sure they already passed the $1 billion budget thing. This is going to be jam-packed, and especially with the setting being in Vice City again. A lot of people do remember GTA Vice City being one of the fan favorites back in the day. They have a lot to play with, and especially with how good the game looks based on what we've seen so far, this is going to be crazy. Now, one thing I'm afraid for any other person who hasn't really liked playing the Grand Theft Auto games but still want to play it is that I fear people will have a lot of high expectations. Yes, this game is really hyped up. Obviously, it's been pushed back at least 3 times already. But I just fear that, people, let's just wait till the game comes out, then have fun with it, and also, make sure that, does everyone have fun with it? They did spend a lot of time on it. They did work their workers off making the game. So, just let's be patient. Let's not rowdy up the Twitter people, so to say.
For sure.
How excited are you for this game, Mr. Lex?
So, full confession, out of all of the GTAs, Vice City has always been my favorite. I think we've all been affected and enjoyed the GTA franchise in our own little ways. So, with, again, how hyped up 6 has been, there's no way that, we're not going to be excited for this new installment in the franchise. Because look at everything that it's supposed to be, packed with.
2026, I must say, is going to be a hell of a year. Not only for people that love video games, but, we're getting Doomsday, bro. Come on, we're getting Doomsday and Grand Theft Auto 6 in the same year? Well, what more do we need?
You kidding me? We're getting Doomsday, GTA, 2026, we're getting Supergirl, we're getting Clayface, we're getting Odyssey, we're getting, come on, Spider-Man. So many things are coming out this year that, whether it's love for movies, whether it's love for shows, whether it's love for video games, it's a fun-packed year. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of movies that I'm looking forward to. Sadly, they're coming up later in the year, so we gotta wait, but, I'm a patient guy. GTA 6 of all things, there's other games in the timeline that I'm also looking forward to playing that are coming out later, and, it's just, I keep saying, workers, take your time, don't stress yourselves out. We know you love making games. We love playing games that are, fun to play, that break our hearts or lift our spirits, and I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it.
So, one thing I did want to ask was, what do we know about GTA 6 so far, the confirmed details?
All I know for sure is that the 2 main characters, we're going to be able to play as both. So I don't remember their names. I'll go ahead and look that up right now. But they are both playable, and they're also a couple. So I remembered seeing the trailer, they're doing, crimes here and there. I believe the female was released from prison. So we know that story-wise so far. And there's just a bunch of things that, we see them doing. They're clubbing. They're, doing some random odd jobs here and there where they're doing a drive-by or taking some drugs or whatever. And then they're also relaxing at one of the boats on the beach, them looking very happy together. So, that's all we know so far. They're keeping a lot of the story very tightly knit. So, that's about what we know so far. And, as long as, the leakers, as we've known, there's been leaks going on with GTA 6 where they've been hacked before. It's been discouraging them from trying to release anything else. So, yes, we are a podcast where we do like to, read leaks and all that. But then at the same time, if you get hacked, then that's kind of messed up, It's not all right. And especially if it harms what the workers are doing, making the game, it does kind of incentivize them from telling us anything else.
just going back to your statement you made about hacking. Of course, hacking, it's never a good thing. I mean, we got a first-hand experience at that when the movie The Interview came out. You guys remember that whole story?
Oh yeah, World War III. We were almost going with North Korea.
Yeah. So
That's right.
yeah,
I forgot
getting
about
hacked, it's never a good thing for anybody involved. But back to GTA 6. So while Henry over there was talking about it, I did some research, and we are getting 2 official protagonists. The lady is called Lucia Caminos, and the gentleman is called Jason Duval.
Derulo.
It says here that they have like a Bonnie and Clyde criminal partner dynamic. That sounds pretty cool. So let's see. The official premise is that Jason and Lucia become caught in a criminal conspiracy after a heist goes wrong. The game appears to heavily focus on organized crime, relationship dynamics, American culture, social media satire. I expect this game, though, to be quite an improvement from GTA 5, because GTA 5 was, it felt very realistic, especially the first time I played it. It was just like a glimpse into like our world from like a video game perspective. So
yeah, because when I step outside, I get thrown a snowball by a pigeon waiting for me. Yeah, definitely realistic there.
Okay. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I am all for the comedy that they put into these games too, because I mean, as you've seen in GTA 5, they've done a lot of parodies with real life things that happen. But I'm just scared on what they're gonna touch on in this game. I mean, with all the modern things that have happened the past, 4 years, including COVID, you think they're gonna touch on a lot of things? I mean, they did in the beginning of production say that they're going to tone down on the comedy. I think I remember reading that. But then the CEO Strauss Zelnick, he did proclaim that they believe that would actually discourage people from getting the game. So they kind of brought that statement back a little bit and saying, you know what, we're going to put some in there, just to appeal to the masses. So I have no idea what the hell they're going to do, but I'm all for it. I mean, that's what they're known for. So let's hope they pull through.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta remember this is still, Rocksteady that is...
Rockstar.
No, yeah, Rockstar. Sorry. This is still Rockstar that's been doing these GTA games from the beginning, and humor has always been a huge part of these games. I mean, they're not comedy games at any point. It's just, this is real-life dialogue, real-life story, so to say, and there's humor in it. I mean, again, with Vice City, one of the characters, Tony, he's just this humorous person, but without making fun of him in and of itself is funny. So we gotta have realistic dialogue, as offensive / humorous as it may be, because in real life we do face offensive / humorous situations. And when you're committing crimes, what's the harm of a laugh or two?
that was very well said. I don't even know how to bounce off that. We'll find a way. Okay, so I take that we're all excited for GTA 6. Am I correct? Of course.
Let's bring back Vice City.
So now, let's transition to Resident Evil.
Oh, I'm all for this, man. So we got a lot of juicy news from Capcom. So for one thing, it's been announced that they are working on a bunch of remakes that I'm super excited for. One particular game I'm very fond of that I played with friends before was the Resident Evil 5. Now, this remake has been announced sometime alongside potential other remakes such as Resident Evil 1, the first one, as well as Code Veronica in the RE engine. So, how'd you guys feel about that?
I mean, I also grew up with Resident Evil games, not as much as you did, obviously. You're our RE fan here. But to get remakes of some of the games that I played in modern graphics, I cannot wait. I am all for that. 100% I admit they are just copying and pasting, so to speak, the game just to be able to play in modern systems, but...
That's fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fully aware of it, I'm still going to get it because I love those games.
Yeah, of course.
What about you, Doom?
Let me tell you guys this. So when it comes to Resident Evil, I myself own a MetaQuest headset, and I own Resident Evil 4, and let me tell you, it is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had on a VR game. I can only imagine what the new one is like, especially because after me and Mr. Henry here had a little talk about the new Resident Evil, I told him the next day that he spammed my Instagram. I literally got every video was about Resident Evil, so since I was spammed in that way, it gave me a little insight into what the game was actually like. So I really like what I saw. So that's a game I really hope to play soon. Looks cool, especially I've seen some mods on Instagram where they swap the monster for Shrek. So,
Oh no, you've seen those videos. That's for the PC crowd, there's other ones with raunchy stuff and
So those aren't mods, those are improvements.
Okay, yeah, no, but
mods.
it's just them having fun. But speaking of Ari, there is now new news about the DLC that they're working on. They put in quotes that a fan favorite character is coming back alongside Leon, and it can also they said that they might help explain who Leon is potentially married to, because as spoiler alert, for those who played the game and see the cutscenes, you see a ring finger on Leon whenever he does his walk-bys on the cutscenes. So, people are speculating, obviously. Number one fan pick people would usually choose is Ada Wong. Ada Wong, of course, you see their dynamic in both the 2 remake and the Resident Evil 4 remake or the regular game. And, they blend well together. A lot of people love them for that, including the other side spin-off movies that they've been in. Other people speculate, and this is a stretch, but Claire Redfield being the first interaction he ever had in Raccoon City, or Ashley Graham from Resident Evil 4, the president's daughter. So it's all up in the air right now. I've seen concept art of Ada Wong, a little bit older, on Instagram, so I don't know if that means that Ada Wong's going to be the one in the DLC. We can only wait and see, but I'm all for it. I'm going to play that thing first day as it comes out. And another topic, potential leak was released about Resident Evil 10 already that they found out. So a known Capcom leaker, Dusk Golem, on a Capcom forum announced that they codenamed the Resident Evil 10's project as Project Red Life, and that they announced subtly that Claire is returning. Claire Redfield, after 10 years of being away from the spotlight. So, what do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, first, we gotta address the real issue here of Leon getting Hitch. I mean, one, I think we're all surprised that he even got Hitch, like who could ball and chain him, right? I mean,
a lot of people want to know, especially the women.
But, spoiler alert, you heard it here first in the Lore Room pod. We know who he actually got hitched with, and someone photoshopped a ring finger in my finger right here. It's me.
Okay, all right.
That's right. I am him, because
the Riz game is on point right now.
Hey, I'm just saying, Lex and Leon, 2 L's right here. You form a W. Look, 2 L's form 1 W. That's us right here, Lex and Leon. God. But, obviously, that should have been obvious.
You'd be like, no thanks, bro.
He'd look at me and be like, Lex, I'll tell you what's next. And, we'll go from there.
Do not do that to this guy, because this guy does not take no for an answer.
I know he doesn't.
I mean, come on.
He takes it as a challenge.
You give me the 2 L's, I make that a W. I make that a win. Right there, you guys.
Let me ask you, who would you guys guess hitched Leon?
Oh, yeah, Wong, for sure.
Wong?
Yeah.
So that's your take?
In canon and in my own head canon, I feel like it has to be her, because I feel like Leon does respect her skills. The other 2 people, yes, they've had chemistry, and yes, there is the shared backstory. Like with Ashley, obviously all of our 4 was just basically saving her, But no, I don't feel like none of them have that skill, that survivor instinct that Leon would actually be attracted to. Kind of like the whole Spider-Man and Black Cat, There's that little like baddie in her, both physically and like personality-wise.
The femme fatale?
The femme fatale, like little James Bond kind of thing. The same thing with Batman, Catwoman. I feel like she's the only one out of the 3 who can do the femme fatale with Leon. Aside from the obvious me. But Doom, what do you think?
I mean, if they're not telling us who the character is, right? That tells me that it has to be somebody that hasn't been featured for a while, and the only person that makes sense in that argument would be Ashley Graham.
But I mean, like, a whole game dedicating to, like, saving her, and I'm not saying the age difference is, like, an issue. It's more the fact that I feel like at the end of the game, they kind of got, like, a brother-sister kind of bond, not, like, a romantic kind of bond.
It's fair.
I will unveil, though, that there was a potential like scrapped artifact that you could have found in the game, but I believe it's not in there anymore. But people dug it up on like the coding in the game, and it was a picture of an older Ashley Graham. I don't know if that means anything, but that's where people were speculating, and that's how Ashley Graham got into the whole speculation of, oh, she's a possible person that Leon could have done. So, yeah, I mean, it could be possible, very slim, but it's just one photo, so, that's all we have to go with. But that's why I put that in there.
Yeah, but then, one photo could say a lot. I mean, remember that photo in Wesker's desk? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Wesker's
one photo does say a lot.
Wesker's a perv.
Yeah, one photo does say a lot.
By the way, for those who don't know, it was a picture of Rebecca Chambers in her basketball outfit, if I recall. He seemed to have a crush on Rebecca. She was still young, though. Like, she was barely 18, if I recall, in that picture.
So, I mean, you can't blame Wesker, barely 18, but, legally, not wrong. Morally,
I mean, he's still a maniac.
I think we'll give him a pass for his maniac brain and, his crazy wacko self. But, I mean, it's Wesker, so, Well, what about you, Doom? What do you think?
I think you guys pretty much said all the tea already. I mean, I still think it's Ashley, though. That there's just something telling me that there's something more to it, and Ashley's going to be involved. So that's just my 2 cents on it.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Henry, I mean, what's going to be your pick? Because Ashley over here, I'm saying Ada Wong.
Now, all three are good candidates. Me personally, I would agree with you. I would choose Ada Wong, heartfelt.
Straight.
But there's a lot of clues that point to the other two that I'm like, oh, man, this is confusing. Why did they do this? Because people have analyzed on Leon's watch in the game. You can see what's one half of a wing, which is the same wing you see on Claire Redfield's red jacket, the iconic red jacket. So that's why people would have her as another contender for, them possibly being together. Although, yes, we haven't seen her in 10 years, so that's kind of a stretch now. But I personally would choose Ada Wong as well. I would.
I'm not mad at the Ada Wong. It's just I'm going for more of a surprise character, not totally obvious characters. That's just my 2 cents on it. But I'm very excited to play it though. I'll definitely have that on my list. But there is one game that you were talking about last time, Mr. Henry, the Alien Isolation 2 game.
Yes, so there was a surprise announcement I didn't think they were actually going to do in general, but there was a surprise teaser trailer for this game, Alien Isolation 2. In the trailer, which, of course, I knew immediately what it was because you can hear the beeping of the radar tracker. It's just constant beeping that you hear in the background of the alien xenomorph getting closer and the beeping going faster. And what they decided to end the trailer on was the telephone booth payphone thing that you save the game on. And that just immediately made me jump up in my seat. I'm like, oh my god, they're making another freaking game. This is awesome. And me personally, because I grew up with the Alien franchise, playing the first Alien Isolation game scared the shit out of me. The way that they made the xenomorph hunt you and they implemented this AI system into it where it actually learns how you play. That was the first time I ever had to deal with a game like that, and that generally creeped me the hell out. Even remembered, because I would always like to hide for long periods of time under a table or whatever whenever I'm trying to hide, because you can't fight back. You can only maim it or distract it or whatever in the game. You can't kill it. So I would always hide for long periods of time in the game, and it would learn to peek under the tables. And so then I was looking at that, I'm like, oh my god, no way, they're actually learning. So, yeah, playing Alien Isolation back in the day was such a core memory for me that it's made me so hyped for the new game that they're announcing. I don't even know where they're gonna do with the story. 'Cause, this is honestly a story in and of its own because it follows Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen. So this is all completely new. I have no expectations at all of what they're going to do with it, the story-wise. I'm just hyped.
I only got one thing to say about this game. I haven't played it, but I did watch it on YouTube, and this was a game I really want to play on VR. I have to have this game on VR. It's built for VR.
That's going to be sick once you have it installed, yeah.
Oh my god, I pray for you. I pray for you, man.
I need that.
Jeez. Talk about immersion. I don't know. I'll be screaming and I'll probably wake up my family. I don't want to know what you're going to do. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. I need that for VR, for sure. What about you, Mr. Lux?
No, I mean, I was more of a Alien movie watcher than the games, but for the sake of all the YouTube videos, all the clips, all the reactions, I can't wait to see what jump scares and what other like horror elements they put in this game. Just for the sake of, memes and little clips. But yeah, no, sorry, I'm more of the movie guy than video game guy for Aliens. But I mean, Henry, let us know how it goes.
You just don't want to get scared, do you?
I gotta prepare myself because them adult diapers, they're expensive and can't afford to be pissing in those.
Aren't they made to be pissed in?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be so scared that there's a limit. It could only hold so much, and I'm gonna break that limit watching those videos.
That's why you pull through and get a catheter. You gotta lock in, man. You gotta lock in.
At that point, that won't be the alien foreign object that's scaring me. So.
Well, the image. Nah, I don't like the image at all.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Jeez. Yeah, just let it reel because obviously it's gonna be an extra long catheter. So.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Gotta toot your own horn.
I was hoping the alien would do it for me.
You're one of those people.
But if we're gonna be talking about the horror and the suspense, we go from Clayface to Alien to I think another thing that surprisingly I feel like was a little scary because I didn't expect it. What do you guys? Should we talk about what came out on Tuesday?
You mean that thing?
Because even though it wasn't broadcasted as scary, it definitely scared the crap out of me at some point with how violent it was. Doom?
Just to make sure we're on the same page here, what are we talking about?
Oh, come on, man. Don't punish me with that. Don't punish us with that.
Sorry, I had to throw a little curveball in there.
Well, of course it's a curveball, man, because, the whole special was a curveball.
Okay.
I don't think anyone expected.
Okay. I wanted to go last on this segment, but since I'm going first, we'll do it. Okay. First of all, the Punisher is a great Marvel character. Let me start there. One of the goriest in Marvel, and one of the coolest as well. Did anybody catch that scene where he gets kicked off a building and yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He falls onto, I don't even know what it is.
It's like an AC unit.
Yeah, like an AC unit.
On an apartment building, yeah.
But if you're watching this episode, you can totally tell that the VFX team did not patch whatever they were doing there. So it literally looks like as Frank's falling off the building, he turns into a video game. Like, it looks like GTA 5.
You took the words right out of my damn mouth. I was about to mention that. I was gonna say that the last point too, but I was like, that's the only grip I had with the special. I was like, that looks so off.
I have more though. I have more.
Yeah.
So, but that was the one where I was like, come on, guys.
Thank you for pointing it out. I was about to go wild.
The second one, okay. I love the goriness. It brought me back to the Thomas Jane days, like the Thomas Jane Punisher. So I love the gore when it comes to that. But guys, before I even get to that point, are you guys familiar with Ma Nucci?
Oh yeah, and her storyline in the comics goes hard.
You guys are familiar with the comic too?
Me, I'm fairly familiar. I'm not that too much in depth with it because I fairly read it when I was a kid. I read it at a back when it was called Borders. That's when I read it. Now it's Barnes & Noble's. Long story. But I only read it then, and I never kept a copy of it because obviously I didn't buy it. But I'm fairly familiar.
Okay, so let me inform the audience of this. When it comes to anything Marvel, I do my research. So, I knew that the Punisher special was coming. I knew that Ma Nucci was going to be the main villain. So what did your boy over here decide to do? He decided to read the entire issue of, I think it's called Welcome Back, Frank. I'm sorry, it's the author is not coming to me right now, but I will let you guys know who wrote that issue. But that specific comic was so good. It had me on my toes. Like, the Punisher, dude, he is a madman.
Garth Ennis, by the way.
Garth Ennis, thank you. He is a madman. And there is a specific scene in that comic where him and Ma Nucci, they have this sort of conversation. I'm trying not to spoil it because for anybody that hasn't read it, because it is a great comic.
Screw it, just spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Basically, there is a scene in the comic where Ma Nucci is chasing after Frank, and when she's chasing after Frank, he runs into the zoo. And when he runs into the zoo, he leads all of her guys into ambushes. So, like, for one, he threw one guy into, I think it was like an anaconda, what is it, cage type thing. The guy got strangled by an anaconda. He then jumped into a polar bear pit, had Manucci and her guy jump in there as well. And as soon as they got in there, he got out. And them polar bears tore her up. No arms, no legs. It was I absolutely had me on my toes, and I absolutely wanted to see that in the special, but we didn't get that. And I truly felt like Judith Light's role as Manucci was a little wasted, just because we didn't really get much from her. So me having read the comic, I was expecting a lot more.
I mean, who knows? I mean, she did run away like a bitch, but who knows if we're going to see her in the future? I mean, they have a lot to go with. Including when they announced Daredevil Season 3, they could possibly tie that into the story. I mean, we already heard of a lot of announcements of other villains being in there, so you never know, you can see it in the future. Now, if they're going to see that scene, I don't know if they're going to want to show that. But they did do a lot. So we never know.
What about you, Mr. Lex? What did you think about the special?
I mean, I gotta admit, you guys, I thought that Disney was gonna censor it and gonna try to PG it as much as possible. And well, before I continue, it was amazing. It was beautiful. Definitely a lot of action, definitely a lot of gore, definitely a lot of violence. There were some scenes where I could tell Disney was like, okay, we're gonna pull back. One of the scenes where they were raiding Frank's apartment and he was gunning down the people, he had one of the goons dead to rights with a shotgun to his head. But then the camera panned at the last second where you don't see the shotgun blowing off his head. However, a few minutes later, you see a guy getting stabbed in the neck multiple times, the blood literally gushing and oohing out.
Oh yeah, with a pen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it? Yeah. That was gnarly. I was like, damn, they're really showing this. Okay, so kudos to you, Disney, for allowing this, because, I mean, I agree with all of you. I love the carnage of all this. I mean, you can't have a Punisher? You can't have a Punisher special without, showing a lot of bloodshed. So, of course,
Did you just confirm Carnage and Punisher?
No, not at all. That was just coincidental.
Okay, sorry.
God, that would be a scary combo if you think about it.
It would only be a scary combo if something to combat that with. So, like, if he was Iron Punisher.
I mean, he did wield the symbiote at one point, or Venom at one point. So, yeah, that was a thing. But yeah, no. I mean, watching the special, of course, I did think it was a bit short, not gonna lie, because as soon as it was over, I was like, wait, that was it? Wait, I want more. No.
I was the one that told you that it had got cut to 44 minutes.
So it was cut.
Yeah. It was supposed to be an hour.
Yeah, I remember reading that, and I was like, okay, that's a good amount. But then, damn, what did they cut? You think
that's exactly what I started off with. So a lot of the Manucci story, a lot of the good stuff was cut out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, who confirmed that, or was it?
They didn't. It's. I'm just speculating right now. This is not confirmed news. But but I'm just telling you, if you guys read that comic, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. There was a lot of the good stuff was cut out. Like, a lot of the good stuff was in dialogue, and like you kind of had to like oh, that could have happened there type thing. So it's like,
yeah.
But I think one thing you're not giving credit to is that this was a special. This was to show you what Frank Castle was doing during the events of Daredevil Born Again, during at whatever timeline events with Spider-Man and what he's going through. I think that was to show you that was his ongoing mental state. So I don't think all of that was just in one day. Because then I would agree with you guys. Well, the events of Daredevil Born Again, I think someone online posted like it was like less than 2 weeks, like from start of season.
Really?
Yeah, like from the what is it? The Morningstar boat. Mm-hmm. I forgot the name of the ship.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So from the event of Morningstar to the last episode of season 2, I think someone said it was like less than 2 weeks, like a little over a week of the time lapse. So even then, if it's only a week, I feel like we can say, yeah, in a week's time, Frank is trying to deal with his depression and his PTSD and everything. Because you guys, being more of a Punisher fan than I am, are you really going to tell me that in one day he went through the whole 5 stages of grief thing and decided to kill himself. I don't see the Punisher as the type of guy who would just be in one day, I'm sad, I'm going to kill myself. He would muse through it. Hence the week or so of why he wasn't available in Born Again.
I wanted to say that I felt when they showed him assassinating the dad and the two sons from the Nucci family, that was probably during the first week of after he was broken out from the jail cell that the ATF were holding him in. So that's where I felt like they were kind of like just, it was very quick, yes, but it was just showing, hey, like he was doing this last assassination of this crime family. And then afterward, then he started to go with, oh, like I already did my job of, getting rid of the people, the crime family that I wanted to kill. Now, now I'm having the PTSD, withdrawal thing of like, oh, like, do I keep going because I already did my job of what I wanted to do? And then, by the way, beautiful performance with John Berthel's daughter, by the way, bringing him back. that was very emotional scene. Very emotional scene. And I was like, that's awesome that they did that. Where, he gets the courage to live on and saying like, I still have work to do and I'm going to keep going. But yeah, I want to feel that when they showing the assassination, that's basically what he was doing right after he broke out, because, he still had to do some work. That plus, the outfit he was wearing was the same outfit that he used during the ending of season 1 of the Born Again. So that's where I felt I kind of was bringing all of that into the timeline of what he was doing within that time. And then like the second week being the whole fight breakout of Manucci's bounty against him. So that's what I was like putting the pieces together. And I was like, okay, yeah, that would make sense if he did the first week, those assassinations, and then Manucci's grieving within that second week is her building up the plan of the bounty and having all those people go after him. That's where I put it into play.
And with that being said, it fills up the less than 2 week timeline of Born Again.
One thing I did want to touch on really quick is that, are you guys familiar with the lady that played Manucci?
No, I wouldn't say I have.
I think I've seen her like as a character, like a background character, secondary character in other shows, but no, I don't know.
So her name is Judith Light. She's been in the industry for over 40 years. She's well known in the industry. Basically, where I thought her casting was cool was she's known for starring in a sitcom. Do you guys know who Tony Danza is?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Who's the boss?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna show the audience really quick. This is Tony Danza. You guys are seeing on the screen right now. He did a sitcom called Who's the Boss with Judith Light. And the reason I bring all this up is because why I say her casting was cool. Her role on this show was she played a lady executive, advertising executive. And she's supposed to be like kind of like how you see like bosses today, like, like someone that's like on top of their stuff, kind of, doesn't let you get away with anything type thing. I thought her being cast in that role was pretty cool to cast her as Manucci, because she's already had like a executive, like leadership type of role. So I thought her coming from that onto this, I thought that was pretty interesting, pretty cool. I just wanted to see more of the story. Like, I get what you're saying, how we didn't want to shorten it to an hour, but we need to see that.
It's a preview, that's why. It's to show what Punisher was doing, and it's to set up the story.
Are you a fan of the Thomas Jane Punisher?
Oh, of course, man. I grew up with that movie.
What about you?
Definitely, that was our first Punishers.
Okay, so if you guys are a fan of the first Punisher, you guys will see why I'm so like, damn it, like we could have had it. So in the comic, the Manucci comic, they actually show the scene in that Thomas Jane Punisher, where he has an apartment, he has his neighbors are like the overweight person and then the person with a lot of piercings. That scene takes place in the comic.
Okay. And also the wrestler, if I recall, right?
Yes.
The Russian?
Yeah, the Russian.
The Russian, yeah. I remember seeing that in the comic, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, they have that guy.
That's why I was so excited, because I'm like, wow, if we get to see that in a special, that would have been pretty cool.
Imagine you seeing the Spider-Man film. Oh, God.
The Russian wasn't Deadpool and Wolverine now.
I know. Yeah, I remember seeing that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta remember, though, we have these expectations, valid expectations, but we can't fit it in the special. Like I said, do you want that whole storyline to be summed up in less than an hour?
No, I agree with you.
So that's why, just like, hey, this was an intro. This was a little, what is it? I can't remember the word. Yeah, preview, but a prologue, to
Prologue.
Prologue. Thank you. This was a little prologue to the Punisher story. We want to just set up. Hey, Frank is back. Let's get this done. I mean, Henry, you share his name. I mean, how do you feel about the Punisher moving forward?
I obviously can't wait for him interacting with the other characters that we've seen before. He really does not like smartasses. He does not. Seeing already him in the Spider-Man trailer, already ready to cuss at Peter, is already bringing a smile to my face. And I'm like, yes, I want more Frank Castle in the Marvel Universe. So I want to see that on camera, on a film.
Not only justification, but the fact that he even said he feels no regret, no remorse because of the justification in his eyes.
Yeah, and who knows, man? They can go a lot with him. And also with Daredevil, too. I mean, they're pretty much seen all the time interacting with either Spider-Man or any of the Avengers. So can't wait to see more of them in it.
What about you, Doom? You ready for the penance there?
Okay, so before I answer that, everybody right now, they can see this picture on screen right now. The penance there with the Punisher. This is funny because this is something I've been telling Henry now for over 2 years. How excited I am to see this Ghost Rider fail to give Frank Castle the penance there. It's just one of the coolest moments I think you'll ever see in a comic, honestly. But yes, I am dying to see this in live action. I hope we get this in Secret Wars, at least.
That would be cool.
That'd be dope.
With Nicolas Cage Punisher? I mean, with Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, or with the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider? I forgot his name.
Robbie Reyes?
I thought it was Ryan Gosling.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's speculation. Speculation.
Yeah, speculation.
I mean, I'm just saying, you give me the penance there anytime, so...
Once I actually agree.
You see? There you go.
Okay. Now let's transition here. How was that Daredevil Born Again Season 2, fellas?
Damn.
It's got to say damn as well, because holy crap, did Kingpin go all out. And I love to see it.
Who wants to start this off?
First off, R.I.P. Daniel. I really liked him as a character. But damn, I did not think they were going to do that. Spoiler warning, we have the right-hand man of Kingpin. Ends up testing Daniel to see if he would give up BB, which is the reporter girl, to their grasp so that they can, interrogate her or kill her. And Daniel ends up being the nice guy and not giving her up. So he ends up killing him, shooting him in the face. And I was like, holy crap. I did not think they were going to do that. It's because I had a theory that he was possibly going to be a future character called the Rose. Which was a character I recently found out about that I heard from another podcast. That I was like, man, that does do that's a pretty good comparison of his character to the Rose from the comics. I did a little bit of research myself, and I ended up finding out that the Rose is basically somewhat of a villain or vigilante that is made from Wilson Fisk, who is basically sort of like his adoptive son in a way, where he dons a mask, a white mask with a white suit, and he has the rose in the shirt pocket, and he's basically like a wannabe gangster type of guy, which would fit Daniel if he were to keep going down that road. Being under Kingpin's wing, a lot of the similarities matched up with the Rose, so I was thinking, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna bring another villain / vigilante into the mix, and no, it ended up not coming to fruition with that. I mean, you never know. They could do the whole fake death thing, because we never really saw it on camera where the screen went blank when he did the shot, but everyone seemed to confirm, the actor himself, that he was shot and killed. So there goes that hope for that.
So I also did hear those same rumors and speculations of Daniel possibly being a Rose-esque character. And I will admit, I was a little sad, not because I wanted to see the character in, the MCU, but more because I felt like it would pay homage to the, what was it, the 2023 Daredevil movie? Or when did it come out? The Ben Affleck one?
2003.
I mean, I said 2023. 2003, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. The 2003 Ben Affleck with Kingpin always having the rose there, putting the rose for his victims.
Yeah.
So I thought, hey, that'd be a cool little callback to what's his name? The actor who played Kingpin. It would be an homage to his character and his Kingpin because, again, like in the comics, the Rose was like an adoptive son for him. So I thought that would be cool.
I have to say this, though. I think Michael Duncan's Fisk, I think, was the most... I'm not talking about the complexion of his skin, guys. Come on now. Because I know that's what people are going to say. But I'm talking about, like, muscle.
He's built?
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
his
built,
build.
yeah.
Yeah.
He is built, yeah.
That is how Fisk, I think, is supposed to be. Because he is more muscle than fat, right? I think that's what I read.
Is basically all muscle, just with a layer of fat.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same thing with hippopotamus, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks like, oh, a hippo's just, hungry hippo, little fat ass. But they are muscle. Hippos are ripped.
Also, the lead cause of death for all humans in the world, apparently. Like, they have the biggest body count to humans other than sharks and all the other things that we think of, so that's interesting.
I don't know why when you said hippo, the first thing I thought of was Big Daddy.
From Kick-Ass?
Hippopotamus?
Oh, that Big Daddy.
Oh, that makes... Okay.
I thought you were talking about like Kick-Ass. I was like, how the heck did that make you think of Big Daddy?
Oh, that is Big Daddy, right?
I mean, that's how I remember.
That's how I remember.
But yeah, so Wilson Fisk is basically like the human hippo, where like it's the outside layer of fat, but inside just pure, unbridled muscle.
I mean, especially seeing that finale. I mean, you saw that fight that break out into the courtroom?
The courtroom.
That was insane. I mean, I was watching it, right? Go down. And it's funny because my mother walks in the room. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm watching the finale of the show." She's like, "Oh, I'm going to watch it too." And she sits down and was like, "Why is he killing random people?" I'm like, "Well, that's..." I have to explain it to her. I'm like, "Oh, that's just, that's Kingpin. He's yada yada." But just seeing all that go down, I was like smiling because I was like, this is kind of like Marvel's version of like somewhat of a Darth Vader where like he's starting to like brash out, killing people in his way. And I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, that's the Kingpin I wanted to see, and I finally got to see it. So I'm happy. I'm happy seeing that fight.
Kingpin's rampage walk so that Punisher special could run.
Basically. Yeah, but just seeing, like, I just love seeing how powerful he was based on the first punch he throws. You seeing that guy fly, his face cave in? You guys saw that?
Forget that. Just the boo.
Boo! Yeah, and I was like, oh, here we go. But yeah, the first punch you see, he sends a guy flying, and his face gets caved in. That dude's dead. Now, I'm pretty sure he killed everyone in that room in that first
They're
scene.
just sleeping.
They're just sleeping, with blood coming out of their eyes and all that. Yeah, they're just sleeping. But yeah, man, that was awesome. I finally I asked for it. I got what I asked for, and I'm happy. I'm a happy guy.
I mean, as brutal as that was, I feel like my favorite / brutal part was when he lifted up that one other guy and just broke him in half against the wall.
That was actually memed, if I recall. Yeah, that got memeified. So people are doing memes about it. Instagram everywhere.
The one that takes the cake for me is when all those protesters are starting to go in the building, right? And Fisk is holed up in a room, and there's the lady who's his secretary, I believe.
Yeah.
She's telling him, "Fisk, don't go out there. Open that door." And you see him, boo,
boo. Yeah, that you guys have to see. If you haven't seen that whole fight, you have to see it. It's one to see.
And at this point, we can't even say spoiler alert because it's already been out for more than a week. So
at this point, if you haven't seen it, you're
missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out.
You're missing out. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
But basically, between seeing the new Alien game or seeing Fisk come out and say boo, I think I'd rather play the new Alien game because that's way less scary than a full-fledged.
Make it a VR game.
You're getting beat by Kingpin.
It's just him going.
He picks
boo,
you up,
boo.
and puts you on the wall.
I get a POV of him doing that.
The back breaking. Oh my god. Yeah, no. Yeah, and I like the comparison they do with Daredevil fighting the ATVF. Him literally. I mean, I'm pretty sure he probably did kill like one of the many people that came to him, but he would knock him out, right? He just beat the shit out of him like Batman would do. But it's the comparison of him, fighting with his iconic nunchucks against
batons
against the ATVF with Jessica Jones, And even, Karen, she did a little bit of a sneak attack too. And then it just pans out to Kingpin just killing those protesters in the hallway. And I was like, oh my god. All right. We get to see who's really the villain now.
Yeah, like you said, that was basically Disney's. Disney does own Star Wars, but that was basically, the Kingpin doing the Darth Vader scene from Rogue One.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
Just brutally killing everyone in his path. Doom, how do you feel just on that whole fight scene alone?
The fight scene with Fisk?
Well, basically the whole fight with Fisk and the protesters, and how Henry was saying, the side-by-side parallel of Daredevil making his way through and Kingpin making his way through.
So, let me just say this. I love seeing Fisk being Fisk, fucking smashing people's faces in. I love seeing that. But there were a few things about that scene where I had more questions than I had answers. One of them was, okay, he surrendered. And then it goes to a cutscene where he's on the beach, walking on the sand, which he says he absolutely hates. Where do they go from there with that?
Well, from there, he accepts the deal of him going into exile. I'm assuming that's the same beach he went on the honeymoon with Vanessa, so that's probably why he says he hates it there, because she's not there with him. Where they go from there? I'm pretty sure he's not going to stay in exile forever.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, he's going to come back eventually. But based on where they're saying that season 3 is going to pick off from, because there will be a big time skip, I don't know if it's going to take place after Doomsday or Secret Wars. Is it going to be that long, you think?
I'm glad you asked that question. This is where I am confused where the MCU is going, because before the shows and the movies were all interconnected. And everything had an event happen in the movies and then something happens in the shows and it's acknowledged. Here, I don't really know how that carries over into the movie timeline, because I would have made this season a little bit more interesting. You know what I'm saying? If some of these characters are going to be involved in Doomsday or Secret Wars, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're doing their own thing with it somehow still being related to them. If that makes any sense.
If I recall, I think they're mainly might not appear in Doomsday, but they will appear in Secret Wars, from what I'm hearing and from what I'm reading on Instagram. There's a bunch of rumors and posts saying that, Charlie Cox will be in Secret Wars, or whatever. So that's why, because I already feel like they focus on who they're going to focus on in Doomsday. It's mainly going to be, the X-Men and the Avengers mostly, and then, some other characters here and there. But yeah, I do feel like in the broad scape of things, they will possibly appear in Secret Wars for sure.
Okay, but even if they do appear in Secret Wars, I think that just this story, though, is not going to carry over. I probably would just be the character. Fist is a very interesting character for that, because he's on a vengeance and he lost his wife, lost his city. I'm very interested to see what's happening next. But at the same time, this is a good carryover for Spider-Man, because now that Fisk is no longer in New York, guess who rises to power?
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty much what I got from this that could relate to the movies. But what do you think, Lex? Give us your thoughts.
I wanted to point out that I feel like in the first season of Born Again, they did state that, yes, this is the way for, at the time, Daredevil and possibly the Defenders to be into mainstream MCU, which, we all want, obviously. But the big point was they were saying when season 1 was premiering was that they wanted to keep it, grounded. They wanted to keep it street level, which was the point of which is the point of the Defenders anyways. And even though I do agree with you, Doom, that the stories and the events of Born Again, of the Punisher special, I'm not sure if they were going to continue with the Jessica Jones / Luke Cage, even / Danny Rand Iron Fist, if they're gonna do a Defenders Born Again or some sort of part 2. But the stories that are gonna be told there, I do believe that they are not gonna impact Secret Wars or Doomsday. I feel like, again, as they said in the beginning of season 1 Born Again, this is just to tell you guys, hey, officially, for sure, these characters are in mainstream MCU. We will see them interacting with, again, Spider-Man, big name character. We will see other side characters with Echo and Kate Bishop interacting with these characters. So by association, they are main MCU. But other than that, their stories will not affect what's going on. Especially when you still have, for lack of a better word, cliffhangers of the Thunderbolts. Hey, what happened at the end? Oh, well, the Fantastic Four ship came up. Fantastic Four. Hey, what happened at the end? Well, Doom came to Franklin Richards, you know? What's the other latest movie? Oh my goodness, why can't I remember? What's the one that came out before Fantastic Four?
Oh, that was the Marvels? Was it the Marvels? No.
Was it the Marvels? Well, either way, let's say it was the Marvels. The Marvels, again, with, what's her name? Spectrum, right? Or what's her name? I think it is Spectrum.
Margaret
With Spectrum meeting, with her meeting Beast, you know? And everything. Like, these cliffhangers have way more weight and impact than, oh my gosh, what happened to New York City?
So, I'm sorry. Just to answer your question, was Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four First Steps. Before that was Captain America, Brave New World.
Oh, Brave New World.
Brave New World, that's the other one. Where we still have, what's the state of the U.S., government? Because, again, Harrison Ford, was supposed to be president and everything. So we still have these bigger plot holes where they deal with either national, international, or even interdimensional threats that, okay, who cares about New York City? So this is just, hey, everyone is now on board in main MCU. Whereas in the Netflix series, it was just little hints, oh, we live in a world of, suits and, gods with hammers. Just references, little, niche catchphrases. Or the Battle of New York, where it's the world has changed, little phrases like that. Where now it's, no, they are in the MCU, but they're not relevant enough to be in Doomsday Secret Wars. With that being said, I don't mind the route that season 2 went. I don't mind the fact that these characters are in their own little bubble. I just definitely can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Because like how Doom was saying, we want to know, okay, well, what is the fate of Fisk? Is he going to be in the island forever? What is the fate of Daredevil? Is he the one that we see in the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer where Spider-Man's breaking into the prison, apparently? What's going to happen with Punisher after we just saw the special? Like, keep them in their bubble. I just want more of the bubble. But what do you think, Henry?
Yeah, I mean, going to see the Defenders themselves, how they feature them all, like, in the end. Seeing Luke Cage, meet Jessica Jones and her daughter, I was like...
Rip Iron Fist, though.
I know, we haven't seen him yet, but yeah, I do agree that they're not featured enough to the point where they're going to be relevant in Doomsday. I do agree. Like I said, I do also believe that they'll probably be featured in Secret Wars in their own, either in their own world, like Battle World. I mean, they could really do that, honestly, to where, everyone's going to have a chance to, appear and help with the fight. But yeah, as of right now, I'm just, I can't wait for season 3. I mean, they already announced a couple of villains here and there. As we already seen, like the soon-to-be female muse, I guess that's going to be a little interesting to see. I mean, I'm not at all familiar with Muse at all, so seeing that story in Born Again Season 1 was a new, okay, that's a messed up dude, and now we're going to have the female version of Muse, and I'm like, okay, all right, we got another serial killer in the midst. But seeing a lot of other names out there that are being confirmed for Season 3, as well as maybe seeing Luke Cage and Jessica Jones again. Maybe even Danny Rand teaming up again. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
Let me just say, when it comes to the Defenders, that with the exception of Iron Fist, I'm sorry, those are great shows. Especially Jessica Jones Season 1. That one had me on my toes the whole time. So if we ever get a Purple Man again in the MCU, I will be the happiest man alive.
God, I freaking hated that guy. I mean, yeah. I love the actor, don't get me wrong. He's amazing in Doctor Who. I think he's one of the more famous doctors out there. Oh, but him playing Kilgrave, dude, oh my God. I was on my toes too the whole time because I was fairly new to knowing who Purple Man was because I never really read up a lot on Jessica Jones. So all of that was fairly new to me, and then I researched after. But damn, he's a dick. He's a dick. I mean, that's an insane power just to say whatever you want and that person does it. Oh my God. That is cruel. The whole point, I think the scene that made me I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. where he would tell someone to stop breathing. And then they just stop breathing. I'm like, oh my god, please don't do that. Like, tell her to breathe, please. But yeah, you can tell he's a very messed up character. If they were to bring him back, which based on what we've seen already, you know what happened to him, that'll be brutal. I don't even know if Disney will want to have that back, to be honest. Do you think they'll want to bring him back?
I mean, like that? With what they did with the last episode of Born Again and with the Punisher special, it does feel like Disney can at least say, this isn't Disney, this isn't Pixar, so we'll let its own separate like branch be. However, my biggest concern, and I was gonna save this for like an end topic after we're done talking about everything, but my biggest concern is, okay, they have the gonads to do all this violence and carnage and mayhem, but look at the Winter Soldier, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the show. So in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we had a good amount of violence. We had a good amount of, like brutality and everything. One of the most famous scenes talked about was, I don't remember what they were doing in the port, but they were fighting against, I forgot the name of the terrorist group.
The
right?
Revolutionists.
The Revolutionists, And Bucky throws like a piece of like steel, like what was it, like rebar? Or like a metal pole at one of the revolutionists, and like it pierces through her shoulder and has her trapped against like one of the shipping crates. So we saw that. If you were watching the episode, you saw that. You saw the piercing. You saw the blood in it. But later on, they re-edited it, so they took out that scene. I think like it was like a knife or something instead that like got her trapped on the shipping container. But they took out the whole like rebar or the whole pole that like impaled her and like kept her stuck. So my concern isn't if Disney will show the violence and everything. My concern is they go back and retouch it to keep it Disney standard or family, friendly. Because you could look it up, and I'm sure you guys saw the memes of it or whatever. They show the before and after of like the first 2 weeks when that episode premiered, and other examples in the show where it was like gory and violent, and then after the 2 weeks they retouched it or they cut some scenes or whatever.
Here's one thing I want to touch on because it kind of ties into what you're talking about. I don't know if this is a Disney thing. I don't know if this is a Marvel thing. So please, I'm asking you guys, why does it feel like every time and this goes for the movies and for the TV shows, why does it feel like we don't get the best stuff? Where like it just feels like they're saving the best stuff for another movie. Do you guys get that at all with some of the movies and shows?
Sometimes, yeah.
I feel like I've been getting that more lately than I did before, and I feel like they're kind of playing with my emotions a little bit. Yeah, no, they are, because with this Manucci thing, like, I'm telling you, I read the comic the day before. I read the whole thing, and I was excited to be shown this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like... Do you guys get that feeling, and is that a Marvel or is it a Disney thing?
I would think that would probably be Marvel, because specifically I know they'd want the audience to keep waiting for what they want to see, so hence the shows. Yes, the shows do tie in to the movies, or they will eventually tie into the movies, but they usually like to span things out to keep people hooked. I feel that's like a business practice. So, any business will probably do that, like, in general. So, yeah, we all fall victim to it. I mean, we want to see what our fan-favorite character is going to be up to next. I mean, shit, I want to see what happens with Loki. But, obviously, I want to know what happens with Punisher and Daredevil and the rest of the team going forward. But it's just a standard business practice they usually do, where they want to keep you hooked to where they give you some, but not all. And who knows if they will do all, like, say, the Manucci mauling, if they're going to show that in a future installment or like a future, I wouldn't say special. They could do a special, honestly, but just like an episode of its own in Daredevil Season 3. They could. Who knows, though? It's all based on either Kevin Feige, the writers, or, the producers in general.
That was one thing I was a little disappointed with Manucci with, was she was already in a wheelchair. And she still had her limbs. I mean, I read the comic, so I know that she did have legs. She was able to walk before. I've never seen her to where she's just in a wheelchair. So that kind of dumbed down my hopes just a little bit. But I hope that's just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, because you gotta think, would you rather her have been like her stub self in the special? No, because now that she has limbs, that means she has limbs to tear off. And that's what we're waiting for.
But the only thing is, if they're following the comics, she's only in the wheelchair after she gets injured. So that's why I'm asking, like, is that how she's going to be from now on? Or, you know what I'm saying? That scene that we're talking about, has that not happened yet? Like, are they going to explore it in a different way?
Oh, I'm more of a, positive type of guy. I want to be hoping that, hey, if she has limbs, that means she has limbs to tear off, and we keep comic accurate.
As cynical as that sounds, I mean, as cynical as that sounds, yeah, that's true. I mean, he still has limbs to tear off, so hopefully,
right? I mean, that's what we want to see.
If you want to see that in a future installment of some kind, sure, she has limbs to tear off. Or maybe it already happened. Her limbs were broken because of said encounter. And they just wanted to dumb it down. Yeah, I know.
You see, that's what he doesn't want.
I know he doesn't want that.
That's why, again, I know. Optimistic. Be optimistic. She has limbs to tear off.
Yeah, we'll be optimistic about it.
And if anything, the wheelchair might be like a cool little thing where Frank goes like, oh, hey, you already have the chair. Cool. Like, don't sweat.
Do you guys realize... I'm just going to spoil it. Sorry. Do you guys realize that in the comic, after she gets her limbs cut off, there's a really, really cool scene where Frank goes to her house, kills all her guards. Again, she's doesn't have any limbs, so she's screaming out the window, "I'm gonna kill you, Frank!" Da, 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 da. Somehow jumps out of the window. I have no idea how.
She jumps out the window.
She jumps out of the window and bites his ankle. You know what Frank does? He punts her back into the fire.
Oh,
he does.
Oh my god. I don't think they're gonna show that. Yeah, they're not gonna show that, man. People would complain, be like, "That's offensive."
If they're gonna complain, move it to Hulu.
People complain.
Yeah, because what is it? Not decapitated. What is it? Delimbed. I can't think of the right word, but delimbed stub people get punted through windows every day. It's a rising crisis here in the world.
Hey, don't give anyone an idea.
I mean, to be fair, we did have South Park do Kick a Ginger Day, so I guess you're right.
Didn't we get something like that in Punisher Season 2? You remember what happened with Billy Russo's psychology? Or, no, psychiatrist girlfriend?
What was it that she did?
So basically, it's the Madani. You remember Madani? The FBI agent?
Okay.
She goes over to her house. They're having like a conversation, and I guess during the conversation she reveals herself to be dating Billy. So they start fighting, and when she's fighting, I think Billy is on his way back home.
Isn't that season 1 though? That's season 1 when they were dating and screwing around. That's season 1. That's before Billy was Scarface or Jigsaw.
No. That was after, because he's already Jigsaw.
Oh.
And the two girls are fighting, and she gets thrown out the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the part I was referring to.
Okay.
Forgot that. I lost my train of thought on that. I had a point.
Either way, what we want is just those limbs being torn off, and here she is. She still has them. We go back to what we said originally, right? Where do you really want one of the best stories condensed in an hour? No, let it spread. Let it, give it time to, simmer. Give it time to be either the next or the first Punisher movie for the MCU, or the next Punisher season. I mean, if anything, doesn't that kind of go back to Doom's original question of, hey, do you feel like they've been holding out on us and they haven't been giving us, more what we wanted? Well, then there you go. The special is just a little, tease, a little taste test for what could be the next thing.
That was what I was trying to tell you. I'm tired of being teased.
You really are, Doom. Jesus. Can't be patient, man? Come on.
I've been patient for 2 to 3 years, man.
I know, me too.
Look. The please isn't as good without the tease, so,
Hey, man, we got something, though. That's all I'm happy about.
Yeah. Moving on. Let's talk Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, something that happened over the weekend was, I wasn't sure who leaked the script pages. Did that come from Marvel? Script pages?
I believe so. It was, I think it was either Feige himself or someone inside, but yeah, it was leaked the 2 first script pages for Brand New Day. I remember reading it on Discussing Film on Instagram, where they revealed like a lot of the notes they put on the script pages. Usually during filming, they like to put notes to give a little bit of feedback on the day of, and there was a bunch on there. including the writing of the letter that Peter is basically doing a monologue in the beginning. Yeah, you have the picture pulled up.
Yeah, the
cool.
audience can see it.
It also unveiled that his AI companion named Evie is helping him out on his own, kind of like his own personal Jarvis, as well as having his own fabricator making the suit. That's inspired by Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit, so that's pretty cool. I'm like, the inner child in me growing up with Tobey's Spider-Man films brought a smile to my face, thinking that like he got inspired by his interaction with Tobey in No Way Home, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, basically the two first pages of the script is just basically him monologuing, him reading his letter to MJ about what he wants to confess to when he wants to unveil his, identity to her about, and also his love for her in the past. So, that's pretty cool. They give us a little snippet of the first 2 minutes of the film.
So here's the only thing I'll say about this. Marvel is really good. Well, let me correct myself because this is not Marvel. This is Sony. They usually do not share much details about the movie, especially a script. So I'm not going to lie. I've always been a little weary about this script. I don't believe it is the finished script. If anything, this might be like an old script, and it probably got updated during.
That's true.
Yeah,
updated
that's
during entirely
the process.
possible.
Yeah. But it is cool. I do like the director's notes that we see here on the screen. Like the one I'm looking at right here, the line producer says, "Can we shoot this?" Maybe. Like that. That's cool. That's a little telling about how the industry and how the producers work together. So it's a pretty cool little insight. What stands out to you, Lex?
Well, like I've told you guys before, when it comes to spoilers and leaks, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I've always been the type of like, oh yeah, like give me the next trailer, give me the next teaser, give me the final trailer, because I do feel like it ruins the experience once you do see it yourself. So when it comes to this right here, even if it's a leak from Kevin Feige himself and he gave his blessing, I'd rather wait for the movie. So believe it or not, I have not read anything on that page, both the actual script and the notes, because hell, I mean, we're still waiting for that Doomsday trailer. Why am I going to tease myself with, the first 2 minutes of the Spider-Man movie when it's going to come out in like a couple months?
One thing I will say, though, is even though we haven't gotten a Doomsday trailer, how cool was that AI trailer? And I know everybody knows what I'm talking about.
The one where he lost to Squirrel Girl, like Thanos did. Yeah, I do like that one too. Squirrel Girl wins all the time.
There's a bunch of them. Which one are you talking about?
Okay,
the one
so
with,
the
with
one
him and Kang?
Yes.
That one? Okay, yeah.
That one was super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. We have to get something like that in the movie. Come on now. I know. We're most likely not.
Yeah,
I
don't think we're going to do that anymore.
Marvel does not want to touch Kang at all.
Apparently.
Pause.
So.
Marvel does not want to hang with Kang.
No.
Nope.
No. I don't understand. What's the whole point of... Why would you not recast the character? Like, what's the whole reason for that? Because Kang is a really cool character.
He is. I mean, I've known very little of him, but the way that his powers work and the scope of what he can do, I was like, holy shit, he is another like Thanos contender where he's a big villain. But I was more familiar with Doctor Doom per se, so I was like, okay, like this is an interesting new villain to get hyped for. But then the whole thing goes down, and after the whole actor controversy, then yeah, we're not getting any more of that anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how Disney. They're very big on being professional. I guess Majors did cross a line when it came to that, but did he cross a line? I'm not saying like the actor bring him back into the role, but you can't do something else with him, like bring him to the show, something like. There's plenty of other cool things you can do with Kang. And I'm not just talking about the one we saw from the Loki show. Like, we saw a couple of his variants. His variants are very interesting.
And, again, we don't want to, condemn or condone here in the podcast, but with Disney trying to keep, a clean nose and everything, you got to remember, too, that they've also crossed the line in the sense, too, with, let's say, James Gunn, for example.
Oh, yeah.
When they try to resurface his old tweets and all of the racist, sexist, homophobic, et cetera, stuff that he was doing. And again, this is no clap back to James Gunn. I love the guy. Head of DC, I'm all for it. But what Disney basically ended up having to beg James Gunn to come back to do Guardians 3. Not only because of his vision, but because all the other main actors supported Gunn too, and wouldn't have done it without him. And you know what? I was going to list other examples too, but I'm just going to hit home with this one. Robert Downey Jr. Before Iron Man, look at his personal life, his drug and alcohol abuse, and yet Disney has him not once, but twice as the face of Marvel with Iron Man and Doctor Doom. Why doesn't Disney go, hey, RDJ, you were doing some shady stuff in the past, so have you as Iron Man? Oh, heavens no. Recast you as Doom? Oh, heavens no. So same thing with, what's the guy who was playing Kang?
Anthony Majors.
Anthony Majors, thank you. Same thing with
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. Oh, sorry.
Jonathan Majors. I remember it was Majors. I was going with Major Tom, but
Major Tom.
Yeah, Major. Like that's how I remember like Major Tom. But
Major Tom. Okay.
With Majors, right? Yes, he did something bad, sure, but that doesn't negate the fact that you could bring him back really quick, just like in that AI video, to give him an official and in canon reason to kill him off. So from Majors to Gunn to Downey Jr., everyone has a past. You dig enough, you'll find things that they did that maybe then or even now is deemed politically incorrect. But Disney still kept Gunn. They didn't stay true with No Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Disney still kept, RDJ and even recast him as Doom. So why can't they, pretend to get off their high horse and just give Majors a send-off? Not for him, not for the sake of his career or to, give him a fresh start or clean slate, but for the sake of the MCU and for the sake of the fans who were excited for Kang Dynasty, because just as we have, Doom's number one groupie here and, fangirling over Doom, we had Kang fangirls too. So just to give them a proper, hey, we're sorry, but here's what's happening to Kang. But that's, my 2 cents of, Disney's high horse and how they've also dipped in the other side.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but has anybody seen the movie All About the Benjamins?
Oh, yeah.
You seen it?
I can't say I have, though.
Ice Cube, Mike Epps, no? Since you're familiar with it. There is a scene in the beginning where Ice Cube, after he's done his mission in the beginning, he goes back to his office. He's having a talk with his boss, and the boss slips him a photo of Mike Epps.
Yes.
And you know what he tells him?
Yes, it is.
He tells him, man, this guy got in trouble again? He gets in trouble more times than Robert Downey Jr. For the viewers that don't know, because this movie was released in the 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. in the 2000s was in and out of prison. We're not going to go over what his issues were. You can look that up yourself. Yes, that is a part of his past.
And again, no disrespect or clapback to RDJ too.
I can never disrespect Victor Von Doom.
So, yes, with that being said, getting Majors back just to give the proper send-off, I feel like that's the least Disney/Marvel should do. Would it be great if they do a scene for scene of that AI video? Yes, because it explains everything in canon and in power scaling and in however you want to say for the MCU. But just a send-off, because I was definitely excited to see Kang Dynasty, especially with its possible tie-in with the X-Men, because that's what we were getting first of bringing in the X-Men with Kang Dynasty. But I mean, Henry, how did you feel about Kang, and what are your thoughts on any future, for lack of a better term, Kangness for the MCU?
Well, as I wasn't really familiar much with Kang, seeing his powers explained in Quantumania, I was looking forward to more of his work in going to the different universes and possibly posing a threat to other people, as well as I've heard that one of his variants, the Egyptian one, was a more prominent variant as well, like a very menacing one at that.
You're talking about Ramatet?
Yes. Yeah. I was also looking forward to it because I was fairly new to it, and I was like, okay, that's something I'm not familiar with. I'll look into it too. And yeah, I never got to see that, as we all know what Jonathan Majors did. But I wanted to see him interact, and if I recall, he also interacts with Franklin, right? In the comics?
He does, yes.
Yeah, he does interact with him too.
Does.
So that could have been cool. Yeah, for that reason, I'm not really familiar with Kang much. So I would kind of be a normie in that sense. Where, what are you guys looking? Oh, you guys are looking over Ramatet? Yeah, and
we're trying to find what is a SFW picture of him, because
what?
All the ones that we see, he's this Calvin Klein model, this Tom Ford underwear
yeah,
looking guy.
Sure. Listen, we see that in the ending of Quantumania. Yeah.
Let's just say Majors isn't just his last name. That's not the only major thing happening over here.
Okay. All right.
But the audience can see what picture he's referring to.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, that's definitely a raw man right there.
Okay.
All right. Again, you were saying how you were not familiar with this character. This was basically your first
viewing.
Yeah, I wasn't say sneak peek, but I didn't feel like that was appropriate. This is your first viewing, your first interaction, or there's a word.
Yeah,
introduction. There we go. This is basically your introduction to the character.
First seeing him in Loki Season 1's finale, he had a lot of charisma in that scene where he was explaining how the branches were doing. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, okay, so he understands how the timelines work and or the different universes. Like, he's knowledgeable of that. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then when he does the whole thing, he's like, there it goes. It's happening. And Loki's like, what? And he's like, there's a what is it that he said? Where he's like, something's happening where there's they're branching out now.
Yeah,
he's like this is gonna be fun. I'm like, shit, no, this guy knows. Oh no, all right, if he knows the other universes are branching out, and I'm like, oh fuck, okay, he's gonna be a big shot villain. Okay, and then, us seeing him in Quantumania as the final villain and how he works then, but that's just him in his base power form, right? Because he doesn't have his, what is it that he's on a chair? Like, this chair that gives him power?
Not only that, but like you said, is just base him and his introduction to him. It's none of the three main Kangs either,
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, just off of that monologue of him in Loki Season 1 alone, I was like, oh man, okay. Alright, we got something going here with this new guy. I don't know who he is, but he's pretty, he's intelligent, he's smart, he knows about the other universes, and me thinking in that scene, I was like, oh no, we got another big time villain here being set up. So yeah, it was unfortunate what happened. I would have loved to see more of that.
I liked the plot line that they gave him in Ant-Man Quantumania, where he basically trying to fix his time travel chair, and once he gets it working, you can kind of see where his villainous arc comes from. Yeah, I do agree with you. Like, we definitely didn't get enough of Kang. We got teased a little bit, but we didn't really get to see what he could do, and I think that's
It's your favorite word.
Yeah.
We got teased.
Yeah, I mean, because you can tease, bait and I don't know, whatever you want to throw in there. We didn't really get to see the man, so I don't think we really got a fair shot. Hopefully, like I said, if he's not recast, maybe we can get him in animation. I'd still love to see him in that.
Like a what if?
Not like a what if. Have you seen like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
Like something like that.
Okay,
like that would be cool.
That'd be cool
For sure. Okay. So, I did want to talk to you guys about Secret Wars. So, Crisis of Laughs on Instagram stated that Oscar Isaac is set to return as 3 characters. He's going to be Moon Knight,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Apocalypse, and Miguel O'Hara from Enter the Spider-Verse.
Let's go.
That is going to be insane.
Yeah. And Fun for Spidey on Instagram also reported that Tom Ellis will be the new Tony Stark Iron Man after Secret Wars. And he will have the classic Iron Man suit. So, let me start with you, Henry. What are your thoughts on Mr. Oscar Isaac returning as 3 characters.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Moon Knight from what I saw. I loved him as a comic character in general, and I just want to see Jake Longley work. We didn't get to see him work, and I'm like, oh, man, okay, I need to see this happen. So I'm just excited for Moon Knight in general, because, I mean, I know people did want to see more of him, and then they never pulled through with the season 2. But then him being casted as the other 2, Apocalypse and Miguel, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna work his ass off in this, I bet. I'm assuming Apocalypse is probably gonna join Team Doom, possibly helping out. And then with Miguel possibly being in his own battle world of, say, like the Spider-Verse, just him being a villain alone. Or helping out. We don't know. I mean, obviously right now, from what we've seen in Across the Spider-Verse, he's sort of like a small-time villain right now. But we all know Spider 2099, he's a guy of his own. He can help out. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. Just for Moon Knight alone, I want to see him.
For everybody out there that doesn't know, Mr. Henry over here is one of the biggest Moon Knight fans. He actually put me onto him.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I want to see Jake Longley.
Jake Lockley.
I think he was thinking of another Longley part of him, that's why.
I just want to see him kill my guy. I want to see him kill.
Oh, he's going to be murdering, all right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mr. Lex, about Oscar Isaac returning as 3 characters?
So let's go with the obvious one first, right? With Apocalypse. Wasn't the best version of Apocalypse out there, but to be fair, the whole movie in and of itself wasn't the best X-Men iteration out there. So I give him a pass for that, only because I didn't really expect that much from the movie, especially when Apocalypse should have been a prime X-Men villain. Not this is the X-Men starting off. This is like right after First Class.
I agree.
Yeah, like
he's a big time villain too.
Like, why are you sending teen X-Men or X-Teen out to face Apocalypse when it should have been an established X-Men force? But again, if he's gonna return back as Apocalypse, he could, redeem that role. We have Ben Kingsley, who came back as the wannabe Mandarin in Shang-Chi, and he definitely redeemed that role. He definitely,
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he definitely made that character, worth it in Iron Man 3.
And I do have to mention, he also did appear in Wonder Man.
So yeah, obviously, he's continuing to redeem that role of, I forgot his actor name in Shang-Chi. But, he's redeeming roles. So we could get that with Oscar Isaac in Apocalypse. Second, it would be Miguel O'Hara. Definitely would be interesting to see him in a live-action 2099 suit. Because as far as I know, there's never been a live-action 2029.
Nope.
Because we did have him in, what is it? Not Web of Shadows.
Shattered Dimensions.
Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah.
And his suit looked sick in that 3D model of Shattered Dimensions. So I definitely can't wait to see a live action looking suit of 2099. My only fear though is I'm not sure if you've seen the memes of what's a concept that looks good in 2D but not in 3D?
Yeah.
With Batman Beyond, where there is the suit choice, and I believe it was in Arkham City and in Arkham Knight, or you could play as the Batman Beyond suit.
It was Arkham Knight.
In Arkham Knight?
Yeah.
And it does not look good. And this is coming from a Batman fan, where the Beyond suit looks amazing in a 2D drawing, but in 3D, it looks weird. So I really hope that's not the case for the 2099 suit. But hey, we'll see. I'm excited because he's doing an excellent job in the Spider-Verse movies. But looking at Henry here, we need more Moon Knight.
We do.
We need
definitely
more Moon Knight. I don't care if it's going to be a quick little cameo. Obviously, the more Moon Knight, the better. What I care is that this is a foot in the door to get Moon Knight Season 2, or to basically get him as the Daredevil-esque cameo guy. Like how Daredevil cameoed in Echo, like he cameoed in She-Hulk. Like, I just want Moon Knight not to die, because in the comics, he's amazing. In modern day memes, he's amazing. And just the fact that we only got the, I guess, surface level of his, schizophrenic personality. Again, with Lockley, or Longley, as some desperate people call him.
Okay, all right.
We definitely need more Moon Knight more Mr. Knight and more what's his persona when it's Lockley taking over?
Steven? Or no, Steven's the nice
No,
one.
Steven is Mr. Knight.
Mark Spector.
No, Mark Spector is Moon Knight. Mark Spector's Moon Knight. Steven is Mr. Knight. What's Lockley's Moon Knight persona? Well, whatever. Point is that we need more of that. Like, come on. The suit itself looks amazing.
Yes.
And we definitely need Moon Knight to do what I believe is one of his famous quotes. Something along the lines of, I want them to see me coming. That's why I wear all white. I want them to be so scared that when they shoot, they can't even hit the moon. That quote is just... I mean, again, like, that is amazing. That the memes of he never dodges, he always tanks the hits and punches, and he's like, again, to me, he's Marvel's attempt at Batman. So obviously, I'm going to root for the guy because this is Marvel's Batman. And not only is it Marvel's Batman, but the fact that he's so badass that he's saying, I'm going to tank everything you throw at me because I know you are going to be so scared you can't even hit the moon. That is just...
Don't forget his interactions with Dracula. I mean, he's like, hey, Dracula, where the fuck's my money?
Owes him money.
He owes him $5.
I just want to see also that interaction with She-Hulk where he goes like, oh, it's a lawyer. And then he just bounces. When it's like She-Hulk going like, wait, is that Moon Knight right there? And Moon Knight is like, oh, it's a lawyer.
That and his interaction with Blade too. I mean, there's a lot he can really do with a lot of characters, honestly.
Actually, not only that, but this is for both of you, Mr. Punisher fans, right? How about his interaction with Punisher?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like Frank, you know, you still killing people? Like, yeah, you still hearing voices? Yeah. Hey, how's your imaginary god? Good? How's your dead family?
Yeah.
Come on.
I want to see that too. Yeah,
So,
they need to get acquainted
with...
first, though. I feel they haven't met at all yet.
No, which is why, again, with Moon Knight, or I'm sorry, not Moon Knight, with Oscar Isaac coming back with those 3 roles, specifically Moon Knight. Chad, I think we have the picture pulled up right here. Yep, still murdering people. How's your imaginary guy? How's your dead family? If we don't get this interaction, it'd be a waste of the Moon Knight Punisher character. To me, that's basically the Ghost Rider Punisher penance there, but with Moon Knight.
Yeah, basically.
Now, how do you feel, Doom, of Oscar Isaac doing those 3 roles?
Well, let me just say that I was very surprised we didn't get a season 2 of Moon Knight. Season 1 was phenomenal. That was probably one of my favorite shows that came out of Marvel, for sure.
It was definitely.
So I'm very surprised we didn't get a season 2. Going back to Apocalypse, I do not have an issue with Apocalypse, especially the way he played him. It's just, I think just for me, I want a different actor playing that role. Not to say he's doing a bad job. It's just he's kind of, I really like him as Moon Knight. And he did a really good job as Spider-Man 2099. I just think it's too much to bring in Apocalypse because those roles are already demanding. And just to throw Apocalypse on there, I just think we could get somebody better to play that role. But if it does come to fruition that he is going to play Apocalypse, then, I'm still all for it. It's great villain. I thought he was really underrated in that X-Men movie, for sure.
Like, underrated as in... people should have praised him better, or underrated as in like underused in the movie?
Definitely not underused. I would say I thought after watching that movie we would get more Apocalypse. Like we would see him more. Like maybe in shows, like I don't know. I guess I was kind of expecting more. Just to see him more on screen.
I mean,
did you want more of that Apocalypse? Given
him specifically, I felt like they underused him in the sense of where if he was as big of a threat as we've seen before, like he even had his own video game, if you guys recall.
I do.
The second X-Men game, X-Men Apocalypse, where, yes, they should have probably used him more, and even including, if I recall, they could have interacted more with some of the other X-Men, even Scarlet Witch. I know she was prominent in his storyline too, where they would always fight and or join teams sometimes, but that's beside the point. Yeah, I mean, they could recast him too. I mean, that's a lot of roles to do for one movie. Yes, he's heavily fixated on Miguel O'Hara and Moon Knight, but with Apocalypse, they could recast Apocalypse as someone else. I wouldn't mind it, because I know like just doing 2 roles in general for one movie would be a lot to work on, especially if you need to fit a body type for like the Miguel O'Hara 2099 suit, and he needs to get in shape for that. Yeah, it's going to take a toll, especially with Moon Knight too. If I would want to see him as Apocalypse, sure. He played it before, he could play it again. It's just, I feel like he probably won't have a big role as Apocalypse. It's probably just going to be like a quick cameo of him helping out Doom. That's how I feel.
Are you talking about for Doomsday or Secret Wars?
Secret Wars. Yeah.
I think for Secret Wars, he'll have a bigger role just because he's a Baron.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely going to have a role.
Okay.
As far as to how big of a role, none of us know, but he'll definitely have a role in Secret Wars.
You think they'll CGI him?
It won't be like it was when he filmed X-Men Apocalypse. Because I remember one of the complaints he did have was the makeup.
I remember that. I was like, I don't think he wants to do that.
Yeah, it's like 16 hours in the chair or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Technology has changed since then, so I think it's maybe a quarter of that now.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right.
you know, like I said, I'm not in love with him as Apocalypse, but if we do get him, cool.
Yeah, the unfortunate part with a lot of these characters, right, is that there's no other live action iteration of these characters. So unfortunately, we gotta use what we got.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah, that is true. What are our expectations for Spider-Man Brand New Day so far?
High through the roof, like Godzilla better cameo in there, freaking Alien better cameo in there, Predator, like everyone has to show up. All of those memes of like, oh, Michael Jackson will return in Doomsday, like Anakin Skywalker will return in Doomsday, like all these people better show up in like the Spider-Man movie to like prep for Doomsday.
Well, one of my expectations is I want them to explain eventually how he's going to get the black suit, the symbiote. I don't know if they're going to do it. They could do it in the end, like how we've talked about before. But obviously this is centered about him. It's centered about his love letter to MJ and or all the villains we already know that's going to be in there, like Tombstone, Scorpion, possibility of, what's the actress's name that's possibly going to be Jean Grey?
Sadie Sink.
There you go. Sadie Sink. Who knows if she's going to be a villain or if she's going to help out. We have Frank in there. And yeah, it's just, there's a lot. There's a lot of material to go over, like for however long this movie's going to be. I believe like it's going to be above 2 hours.
Doomsday?
No.
Brand New Day? Yeah, like 2.5.
2.5.
2.5, close to 3.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot. So I've only had my expectations for which villains I wanted to see. Scorpion's one of them, so I'm happy there. Tombstone is going to be like interesting to see because we haven't had a live action version of him. I've only known him from games and or comics, but I want to see it. I like the actor. He's funny to me because of his appearance in, I believe, the Black Lightning show. The actor who he was pretty gnarly with the comebacks against Black Lightning. So I want to see some of that in this movie too. Overall, I don't want to overexert myself with high expectations on the movie because obviously I want to, like how you said, I want to see it for myself. Obviously, I did read the 2 script pages of the script, so I did spoil that beginning part for myself. But other than that, I'm gonna keep it pretty tightly knit and like just watch the movie for myself.
I apologize, Henry. While you were going over your statement there, I was telling Mr. Lex over here that I did not know that Tombstone was in the Black Lightning movie. The Black Lightning show.
How did you not know? He is like the best part of the show.
He is. I see clips of him. He's freaking hilarious and controversial, mind you. With
No, he's just great.
He's great.
There's no controversy. Look at his, ethnicity and his background.
Mm-hmm.
It's not controversial.
Yeah, he's albino. So, TLDR, the actor who plays, I don't know what his character was in Black Lightning, but he's
Tobias Whale.
Yeah, Tobias Whale.
The actor himself is albino, but he's African American. So he got away with a lot of jokes in that show that I was like, that is hilarious.
It is.
Yeah, I've heard phrases I've never heard before, and thanks to that man, I know him now. I'm not going to say him, obviously, but they're hilarious. And he's a phenomenal guy so far, so I can't wait to see him as Tombstone.
Yeah, and then, it's great to hear that you added that to your repertoire, because, it's just crazy.
I'm not going to say it.
White chicks moment over here.
Yeah.
But yes, Doom, how did you not know? He is like the best part of the show. He's just amazing with the comebacks. Again, a lot of controversy, but
I saw this show so long ago. I just forgot a lot of it. So that's a show I need to rewatch.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, though, it's just all these characters right here for either what is it, Doomsday or Secret Wars, how they're going to play with, obviously now that we're moving the topic specifically to Brand New Day, that power vacuum and everything. These storylines, we just got to wait to see the movies / shows to see how they play out in the overall Doomsday / Secret Wars. I still believe that and for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna call all of Daredevil, all of Punisher, One Last Kill and everything. I'm just gonna call them Defenders, just for simplicity's sake, because it's just be easier. All of the Defenders, I still feel like it's gonna be contained in street level in their own bubble. I doubt their stories will have any major significance or play into what the movies will. But clearly, we do see them still interacting with the major movies / characters, as we see Frank Castle Punisher with Spider-Man in Brand New Day.
Oh, I have a lot to say about Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Start talking, homie.
So one question I have about Brand New Day is, we've already learned through the ending of Daredevil, well, not through rumors surrounding the ending of Daredevil, that Spider-Man is not breaking out Punisher. What am I saying? Daredevil. He's not breaking out Daredevil. So with that being said, why is the hand in the movie? What is their role?
To keep Spider-Man from breaking out Daredevil. He's going to fail.
There's got to be more to it. Especially, when's the last time we've seen the hand?
In Defenders.
Season 2, Defenders.
Defenders was last. Yeah.
Do we remember what they were doing last time we saw them?
Yeah, Elektra. The whole thing was with Elektra.
Trying to destroy Elektra, right? Okay. And it's been 6 or 7 years since we've last gone. Yeah,
God.
Roughly. What could they be after that Spider-Man? That they got to be going after Spider-Man.
So what you're saying is, because we have the appearance of the hand, there's something afoot.
I'm not saying there's something afoot. I just think there's a point that we're not. There's got to be something. There's a reason why they're in there. So I just can't figure out why. Because just looking at all the villains that are in there, you got Scorpion, you got Tombstone, and then you just have the hand. I just you know what I'm saying? Those are two completely different villains. So.
Yeah, it just came out at you like a backhand, right?
What happened beforehand?
Huh?
What happened beforehand?
Those are good points. I gotta hand it to you.
I like the puns.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the one mystery I was trying to put together ever since I saw that trailer. I'm like, why the heck is the hand in a random prison?
Yeah,
Peter
because Spider-Man and the hand don't go hand in hand.
They don't.
No.
But he grabbed their hands and started to crash out, as we've seen with his eyes darkening. And I'm like, okay, so that's probably where he's going to go through a metamorphosis of some kind. Don't know.
The symbiote.
You never know. They've done it before. But to get the hand involved with Peter, that is like insane. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck did he do to get their attention? So yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what he could do to get them involved, but they're there, so he must have done something.
We did talk about this in private amongst ourselves, but one of the theories that I had proposed was with the events of Daredevil and Kingpin being exiled and the power vacuum and everything. It was the theory that this power vacuum is the reason for the hand coming back into play. Because now that there's no, for lack of a better word, heavy hitters, the hand could kind of, regroup and reorganize themselves to be the underground ruler of, not just New York, but obviously the whole operation that the hand was working on. On top of that, we have, Tombstone trying to be the next Kingpin, and there was also the other rumors that Doom had brought up to us too of Shang-Chi's sister. I cannot remember her character's name, but Shang-Chi's sister also using the 10 rings to come and do a power play on New York. So the hand being there is basically just another group to explain the power vacuum that's going on in New York.
That would coincide as well with...
And Doom, if you could tell me what Shang-Chi's sister's name is, please.
I am not even going to attempt to say her name. I'll just spell it out for you guys. Zhu, last name Xialing.
Zhou Jiangling?
I did not pronounce that. You did?
So obviously he's adding more words to his repertoire list.
I'm a phonetic. I like to read that way.
More like a fanatic, but that's what he's saying.
It goes hand in hand.
But is she the leader of the hand or is she the leader of the Ten Rings?
10 rings.
Bro, this was your theory. You're the one.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he's the one that made the theory. But yeah, no, that theory would make sense. That would make sense for why all that stuff's going down with Frank and Manucci. There's the power vacuum.
Right, Manucci could be another
another contender. Yeah, so that would make sense. I mean, with the whole power vacuum going on, Manucci's trying to get back into play, I guess. Hence why we see all that chaos in Little Sicily. And then with Tombstone trying to put his foot in the door, the Hand trying to put their hand in the door, and yeah, even maybe Scorpion trying to do a little bit of odd jobs here and there. And as the lead crime boss is gone, he's like, all right, I guess I can go do some stuff too. Yeah, that would make sense with that theory. I agree.
All right, so your thoughts on it, Doom?
Oh,
why do you feel the Hand is in play here?
That is a very loaded question. I want to say it has something to do with Tombstone. It has to do with a power vacuum of some sort. To pull in all these villains together, for it to make sense, there has to be a leader of some sort. And the only person I could think of is Tombstone. So whatever he is up to called the attention to all of these villains. That would be my best guess. Does anybody have anything different?
No, I think we shared our hand theories, right?
We put our hand in it.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be a mystery why they're there, but as long as we don't get a sleight of hand, we're all good.
Oh, the puns, I love it. Let's go into our final...
Very handy.
Let's go into our final topic here. So we learned from Screen Trail that Sony is getting Brian, I don't want to mispronounce his name here, Helgeland, to write the crossover based on the comic series Django and Zorro.
Oh, it's Hedgeland.
Is it
Hedgeland?
Yeah. Okay, Hedgeland.
Yeah, Hedgeland.
Watch that be like the more racist name saying than what Henry did.
Can't blame you for trying.
Again?
I'm sorry
if
I mispronounced your name.
But anyways, we are getting a potential Django Zorro spin-off movie. It is confirmed, though, Tarantino has given his blessing, but will not direct. So, let's start with you, Lex. What is your thinking on a possible Zorro Django spin-off movie?
Don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for it. I mean, these two iconic characters, more Zorro than Django. I know we've had other iterations of Django before. There's that famous scene in the Django movie where, what's his name? Jamie Foxx meets the original white dude who plays Django in back in the 80s, 90s, I'm not sure. So there is history with Django, but obviously there's more history with Zorro. And given my Latino origins, obviously I know more of Zorro than anyone else. Antonio Banderas, oh my gosh, amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I'm really excited for this movie because obviously I love Jamie Foxx's Django as well. Amazing movie, amazing director, amazing story. My big, for lack of a better word, concern though is how does that make sense? Because Django is supposed to be set in peak slavery, right, with 1800s. And isn't Zorro, his timeline, supposed to be like late 1800s? And this is where I'm asking. I have not done the actual research, but I think just in terms of logic, continuity, time-wise canon, I feel like Django is older than Zorro. That's why I don't see how these two characters will come together unless you do like an Elseworld story, where this is not the Django from the Jamie Foxx movie. This is just an Elseworld Django and an Elseworld Zorro. And if it is, cool. We don't mind an Elseworld movie. It's just, I don't see how the time periods match up. Other than that, I'm excited. I mean, we're basically getting two different minorities teaming up, what I would still assume would be in a time period where it is racist. Racism is prominent in America or whatever part of the world they're in. It's, again, Latino minority and African American minority teaming up against whatever big bad. I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I only question the timeline. Other than that little hiccup, I'm all for it.
I can actually fill in some of those gaps for you. I'm looking at the comic here. So it says that the comic takes place several years after Django Unchained. Django is older, smarter, richer, more experienced. He's now a legendary bounty hunter. Let's see, freeing slaves whenever possible, building a reputation, a mythological gunslinger. So let me see about Zorro here. Zorro. They basically team up together. Let me see. Gunslinger versus romantic hero.
Henry, how do you feel about the Django Zorro crossover?
I am all too excited for this announcement. Me personally, I haven't read the comic series because I didn't even know it existed firsthand. So this is all news to me. When I first read that story about a couple weeks ago, me personally, I loved the Django Unchained movie. It's probably like my top 3 Tarantino films of all time. So I'm all for seeing more of Django in general. Me growing up with Zorro, I was only familiar with the Antonio Banderas movies.
Hell yeah.
Because my mother would put them on for me because she loved Antonio Banderas in general.
Who doesn't?
I know. He's a charming guy.
Puss in Boots, that's all you need to know.
Oh, I know. That and Spy Kids. Don't forget Spy Kids.
He was the dad.
Yep, he was the dad. And I'm not going to lie, I forgot the plot of the Zorro movie. Because I was watching it at like 4 years old, so don't blame me there. I'll go back to watching it again. I'll watch it again just to refresh my memory. But I do remember I used to love watching the movie to the point where I would try to pretend to sword fight, and my mom, for that reason, stopped putting on the movie for me because of me like almost hurting someone or something like that. I don't know what I did as a kid. I was crazy. But seeing these two icons together in a film. Jeez, come on, you can't ask for a better feature film. I mean, if they're teaming up, even better, you know. I initially thought this was going to be like them facing off against each other because I was assuming they had different morals. So that's why I was like, okay, like, is it going to be a movie of Django versus Zorro? If they're teaming up, cool. You know, 2 badass role models, teaming up. Nothing else you can ask for.
Yeah, so I found the answer to your question. So what you asked actually is one of the biggest questions people have about the Django Zorro story because it does seem impossible timeline-wise.
Yeah.
Yes, but it says here that the comic uses a mythic Western timeline, so approach rather than a strict historical realism. Basically, Django Unchained takes place around 1858, around right before the American Civil War. Zorro's timeline usually takes place 1820, 1840s California. So not too far off there.
Wait, so Zorro is younger than Django?
No, Zorro's older.
Zorro's older. Traditionally.
No. I mean, or let me rephrase that. Zorro's story is earlier than Django.
Yeah.
I thought Zorro's story was after Django. Because I remember... I guess I'm remembering it wrong, but I remember that it wasn't... like slavery and like blacks and African American that was the issue. It was the minority issue of you're but
that's all the time though.
Right,
back then that was a similar thing.
Bringing that up, isn't that a good reason for them to team together?
Just timelines wise, I thought Zorro came after Django. Like slavery was already fought over and basically abolished, and the new civil rights before the actual civil rights was like the Mexicans, like now our people.
I remember seeing carriages in the movie too, so it could still be an earlier.
Oh yeah, but carriages were still around even before. What is it, like 1930s with Ford, with not Harrison Ford. Why can't I remember his real name? Ford, the company, the car company.
Yeah, Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, yeah.
Henry Ford.
So it's like. Carriages were still in America or still modern up until like the 1920s, 30s, before the T-model car. But all right, well, good to know that technically Zorro is before Django.
And I have to say, I'm actually, now that we went over this, I'm very interested to read this comic.
Me too.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's something maybe we'll get on another episode.
All right, Chad, if you could put your earmuffs on for a second. Is that website still down?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to actually earmuff them. I'm trusting the audience. Is that perfectly legal and active website still in use for us to legally and respectively?
The internet browser that you are referring to, the internet site, is still available, yes.
Yeah, it's still available.
Yes.
It's down for now.
All right. So everyone, if you're interested, please go to www. We'll see you all there.
You heard it from him. Okay. We've covered all our topics today, guys. It's been a blessing talking to you guys, about Marvel stuff, about DC stuff. That's what we love to do. That's why we're the Lore Room.
About racism stuff?
He said that?
He said it.
Yeah, he said
No. Against it. I mean, these guys apparently are offended that I'm against it, so that must mean you're for it. I want Django and Zorro to win, but,
I heard that southern twang in your voice.
What can I say? I do come from south of the border. Duh.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, that's why I have that southern twang. I'm from south of the border.
Nah. You had a Louisiana twang.
Oh, I said, boy, if you don't shut that mouth, boy.
Kentucky.
I'm about to be Joe Jackson on you, boy.
Okay. Oh, gee. All right, Joe.
Okay.
Just not caught in that, Joe.
God. Jesus.
Well, it has been an amazing episode. Thank you, Lore Horrors, for tuning in with us. Please follow us on our Instagram at the Lore Room Pod, on our YouTube at the Lore Room Pod. You can also follow me on my Instagram. It'll be Anthony_the Lore Room Pod. And I don't know if you guys wanted to.
I have no idea what my Instagram handle is, but just, under the Lore Room Pod, just look for the guy with the Batman PFP.
Okay. And mine's Spidey FTW2899. Just go ahead and follow me there too.
How the heck do you guys remember that stuff?
Well, it's my username.
Pay attention.
You don't remember your own username.
Sure don't. But from love, from all of us, including Grogu, to y'all, thank you for listening to another episode. We hope to catch you guys next week.
See you in the next video.
May the force be with you.
I need my money.
The Schwartz.
The shorts. So.